Welcome back, unless you've never been here, and then welcome, singular. This is Full Stack with Lawrence, and I am Lawrence, and I'm a full stack developer, and that's how it all works. It ticks and ties. This is video number 3 of a 3-part series, and we're talking about Kubernetes. In video number 1, we created a Kubernetes cluster that was awesome. It had everything you need for a production Kubernetes rollout. And so go watch video number 1, you'll see why that is. Video number 2, we tinkered around with that cluster, and here we are in 3, where we're gonna destroy that sucker and get rid of it. And so this one's gonna be quick and easy, so let's jump right in. There's the intro. And we're back. So let's do this. I'm going to share my screen, and our task at hand is to tear down the cluster. And so where we were, here's what's going on, is we have 3 compute nodes that are running. Everything's healthy and it's great. So you should have seen how we got there and why and whatnot. Here's all the pods that are running, and those are working just great and everything's fine. And so what we want to do is get rid of it all in a nice and orderly way. This is how we get rid of things, Terraform destroy. And you've already seen this a couple times with Terraform init, Terraform plan, Terraform apply, and here's the last one. And so there's nothing earth-shattering that's going to spill out of the console. Now, we see that, as we expected, when we ran the Terraform destroy, it doesn't want to create anything, totally makes sense, doesn't want to change anything, kind of makes sense, and it's going to destroy 83 things. That sounds good, so here we go. Bearing in mind everything that I just said, I want you to appreciate that the sequence in which Terraform is executing this destruction is non-trivial. And it's very difficult for you as a human being to duplicate the work plan that Terraform very efficiently created in just a couple seconds and is currently executing as we watch. Something cool that we can do that I would love you to be able to see is watch it all come apart inside of K9S. So if we get in here fast enough and open up all of the, we got here just in time to see the pods getting terminated and shutting down. So remember, it's like it's top down. So I guess this is a bottom up deal for it to destroy. And so it's starting with the highest level Helm packages that don't have dependencies, and it's terminating those. It knows that stuff too. It understands the dependencies inside of Kubernetes. And so it starts tearing it down piece by piece based on the dependency charts that it built for inside of Terraform. That's pretty amazing. If we go to the console to Route 53, then I'll remind you respectfully that Terraform created a hosted zone that is a subdomain. It's this here. So I provided as a root domain my personal domain address, lawrencemcdaniel.com, and then it created for me this hosted zone for Full Stack with Lawrence. And so this at the moment has not very much, and it looks like it's shutting down as we speak. So Terraform, as I was gabbing at the mouth, was busy destroying the DNS records from inside here. It looks like this thing's totally gone now. And so this is one more example of cool stuff that it got rid of for us in the right sequence. And so things are going famously. It looks like the pods are basically all gone. And so the nodes are busy shutting down. And that'll happen one at a time. And it'll happen one at a time until kube control loses connectivity to the control plane because the control plane's shutting down. And I imagine that's probably where we are. So I think we're done with K9S because it's no longer able to communicate. And so if we wanted to continue to watch the teardown process, we now kind of have to bump over once again to the EKS, the AWS console. And so we're going to go to the EKS service, whereupon we should see, like I said, this stuff's pretty fast. The compute, the managed node group, it's going to be in this deleting state for, I'm going to say 3 minutes maybe, and we're a minute and a half into it. So I guess we'll fast forward this piece of video and jump to the end. All right, cool. So the managed node group's gone, and we're down to just getting rid of the cluster, which is actually a pretty fast process. So we should have nothing to see here. This should just be like a blank screen. And that's right. So we get to the clusters, and that's winding down. Once that's gone, then the VPC will just kind of fold in on itself, and that'll be the end of it. We'll go ahead and take it all the way to the goal line. Because I want you to be able to see that all of the resources, in fact, did get destroyed. Nothing was lingering, because that's pretty important. All right, looks like we're coming into the home stretch. And we're done. All right, according to Terraform. So says Terraform. Everything's gone. And as has been happening all day, we've got a sharp-elbowed comment. So this is telling us that the default ACL was not deleted. And that's not an expense-bearing resource, but I don't know why it wasn't deleted. It does make me suspicious. So like, first thing I want to do, based on what I see there, is jump over to the VPC here and find out whether we still have our VPC intact. Like, I wonder, well, that looks good. That means that that means it's gone. And it is. All right, so all we have is the default VPC. So it's one that has no name. That's the default VPC that AWS creates on your behalf when you create your account. And so so that is our sign that all the corresponding resources are gone. At a minimum, this should be an empty window, as we see. And then if we just spot check the EC2 console by going to the dashboard, we should see just all zeros here. So this is a kind of a misnomer, as is that. So the one security group, just because I know from experience, that's the default security group for the default VPC. And so that's not interesting for us. Has nothing to do with what we just created. I have no idea what that is. There we go. And then this here, there are 3 instances, but they're not in a running state anymore. They've all been terminated. And so these will be removed from the account over the course of due time. And it takes about 4 hours. And so we're definitely not going to wait those out. And so we're done. So I hope you enjoyed that, and will enjoy it or found it useful, something positive. And if you did, then, you know, like, subscribe, and so on and so forth, please. And yeah, make this channel successful. I got tons more videos that I want to do, and they're going to be like this, and they're going to be awesome. They're going to come with fantastic code that I wrote personally that's awesome, that's better than anything you're going to find anywhere else. That'll get you up and running, get your clients up and running in no time. All right, that's it, man. So thanks a lot. See you in the next video. Ciao.